back to this week's Bourbon of the Week, and I know what you're thinking, Chris, that's not a glass of bourbon, that is a cookie, and we're going to get into why I'm eating this cookie on the channel a little bit later. But this week, we're here in Louisville, Kentucky at the beautiful Michter's Distilling. Everybody's heard of Michter's. It's kind of a limited release, so it is hard to find, especially here in Pennsylvania, but this is the Michter's Small Batch Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. This is a 91.4 proof, so let's see not only where this falls on the list, but why I'm holding this cookie. Let's get into it. So here we have it, Kentucky Straight Bourbon, Michter's Small Batch, established 1753, which we'll get into, 45.7% alcohol, so not too bad, a little bit higher of a proof than we usually do. I guess it's right in the middle there, 91 proof, so not too high. Michter's Bourbon, but everybody knows before we get started, time for the traditional sip. Ooh, a little bit of a bite. So Michter's has this kind of undisclosed story behind it. So it's non-disclosed mash bill, non-age stated. So there's no age, there's no year on the bottle here. But it does say that it's a straight bourbon. So if it's a straight bourbon, it has to be at least 4 years old. If it's a straight bourbon, it has to be at least 2 years old. If it's non-age stated, it has to be at least 4 years old. So we know this is at least 4 years old. But what we don't know about Michter's is who's really distilling the Michter's product. There's not a lot of talks even within Michter's about where they get their product from. Most people assume that they source it all. There are talks that they are actually in the production process of making their own distilleries so that they can do more stuff in-house, but nobody really talks about it. So it's really kind of up in the air on where they get this product. We're assuming it's a sourced bourbon. We're assuming it's a younger sourced bourbon at that 4-year mark, but it is very highly talked about, especially around the internet, especially right now. So Michter's is an interesting product. Being so young, being sourced, but yet not being well known, but yet still being hyped. So it's kind of like, which way is it trying to go here? They put out a great production team as far as marketing goes, because it's all over the internet. Everybody wants to get their hands on it. They do a limited release, so they proof it lower when they put it into the barrels, so they're getting less of a product, so there's less of a supply, which means there's more of a demand when it does hit the shelves. It is hard to get here in Pennsylvania, so whatever they're doing, it's working for them. But I don't know exactly if they're trying to change up things when they go in-house or if they're going to try and keep the same kind of marketing scheme going. But anyway, with all that aside, let's get into this. Drinkability on this, a little bit rough for a 91 proof. It's a little, it's not in the 80s, but I've even had some smoother, easier sipping bourbons at 100 proof, 112, 117. It definitely drinks above the proof mark on this. How much? Let's take one more sip and find out. So yeah, it does have a little bit of a bite to it, especially for a 91 proof. I would say it drinks above, definitely drinks above the proof there. Almost tastes like a rye mash bill, but I'm not too sure. It does taste like it has some spices on there, but I wouldn't say it's a high rye mash. It's probably, again, undisclosed mash, but I would put it in like that 12 to 13% area on the rye there. But I'm going to give this like a 7.5 on the drinkability scale. It's not that great. But after the second or third sip, you kind of get used to it, and it's not as bad as it was after the first sip. So 7.5 on drinkability. That's going to bring us over to taste on this, and I think that's where this bottle is going to do the best. This really easy to drink as far as the taste goes. Very traditional tastes. Nothing overwhelms anything else. Vanilla, caramel, a hint of oak at the end. Pretty long lasting. I would say like a medium to long finish. But it tastes really good. There's nothing bad about this. There's nothing like the last week where it had that hint of like black licorice at the end that I didn't really like too much. Nothing that makes you kind of not like this. You actually want to go back for more and more because it is so good when it comes to the taste profile. It's just your traditional bourbon flavors. Again, a little bit of that ethanol kick. I think it's like I said, like a 12 to 13% rye. But it's so easy to drink on that flavor scale. A little bit of oak at the end to give you a little bit of that charred oak barrel that it sits in, which is nice because it is probably a younger bourbon that you can still get that flavor out of there. So this is gonna do really well on the taste scale, and I'm gonna give it like a 9.0 on the taste scale because I think it is really that good when it comes to the taste on this. Once you can get past that initial ethanol kick on this, you're really gonna appreciate this bottle. What they do to source the product and then blend it themselves is amazing, to be quite honest, especially if it is that young of a bourbon, which we're all just assuming at this point. So 9.0 on the taste scale, good for them. And last but certainly not least is going to be price on this. Now the tough thing about this bottle is, like I said before, they do only release a limited supply of it, So it's hard to find, especially on the shelves here at Pennsylvania. When most people do find it, they pick it up right away. Here in Pennsylvania, it runs $50, $49.99 plus tax. Not a crazy high price tag, but at the same time, we're kind of getting to that bourbon world realm of above 50, below 50. Everybody, when they talk about bourbons, they kind of have like that price point. What's the best $20 bottle? What's the best below $40 bottle? What's the best below $50 bottle? So technically, I would put this, if somebody said a below $50 bottle, it's going to go up. It's going to be an above $50 bottle. So now you're talking into the next, what's the best below $75 or $60 bottle? And that's where this one's going to fall. So you're getting up there in a kind of a tough price range. Again, a lot of these bottles that we see up there that are younger whiskeys that are, this is a medium proof when it comes to 91 proof. But it's usually because they're sourcing the bourbon that they're spending that extra money. And again, that's getting passed along to the consumer. So that's why we have to spend a little bit extra to get it. They're going to get the money that they get because people are going to buy this, because people are going to enjoy it with that taste profile and supply and demand. They know how to work the market. If they put out a limited release, because they're proofing it and barreling it at 103, I believe they barrel it at. Instead of the traditional 125, they really can only pull out so much juice from the barrel, which means they're only going to get so much supply. So when you limit the supply, you're going to up the demand, especially when you're putting out a good product like this. So $50, I get why they're doing it. I think it's a little bit high for this. If you were to ask me, I would like this better in the $25 to $30 price tag. When you're talking $50, $45, $50, and you have the Eagle Rares of the world, the Elijah Craigs, from what I hear, the barrel proofs and the 17s and all that are up in that price range along with it, you're really going to have some tough competition in that $50 price range when you're not putting out quite as good of a juice as what they're going to put out. So $50 is going to be tough for this one. I'm going to give it like a 7.8 on the price scale just because it does have such a good taste profile. So when I do see this on the shelves, I'm even going to want to buy another bottle of it, even if it is $50. I won't go out of my way to spend any more than that. Like I said, I think it deserves to be down in that $25, $30 price tag. And once they can be able to distill and make their own bourbon, I think they're going to find that they can drop that price point if they want to. If they're still got the demand for it, there's no reason to. If people are going to pay it, there's no reason to. If you're seeing it on the secondary market for more than $50, I'd steer clear myself, but hey, it's your money, do what you want. That's where we're going to put it on the price scale though. So let me add up some scores for you, but in the meantime, let's kick it over to our Bourbon Bomb of the Week. But this week, it's not going to be brought to you by bourbon at all. Let's call it the Cookie Bomb of the Week, and I'll show you why in just a minute. Let's get to it. So this time of the year, everybody's asking, what should I get my favorite whiskey lover for the holidays? And I can tell you right now, they all want the Glencairn glass. They all want a new bottle that they haven't had before. But what they don't know that they want are these cookies right here. These are called Insomnia Cookies. They were started in like 2012 out of a dorm room at UPenn right here in Pennsylvania. They opened their first brick and mortar in Syracuse, New York. So they're local around here. Everybody around here absolutely loves these cookies, and I'm telling you right now, they put out what's called the Boozy Bites set. Boozy Bites. You're going to get these cookies right here. You're going to get 4 hot cinnamon whiskeys, 4 mudslide, 4 peanut butter old fashions, and a shot glass set. This is what you really want to get. We'll get a zoom in on this, I promise. This is what you want to get your whiskey lover for Christmas. I'm telling you, take a look at this right here. The shot glass set right here. You got 3 shot glasses, all coming with Insomnia Cookies inscribed right on them, so you can't beat that. I'm telling you, instead of putting out milk and cookies that you've baked at home that are all messed up because you were too tired from wrapping presents, go out, buy this set. You're gonna absolutely love it. Put out a shot of whiskey, put out these cookies for Christmas. That's what Santa Claus really wants. Make sure you get these Insomnia Cookies. I'll link it below. By the way, they have no idea that I'm doing this. They didn't pay me to do this. These are absolutely delicious cookies. Now let me tell you, I want to be straight up with you. They are expensive. We bought this set. This is a $40 set. We also bought 12 others. They're a small, quote unquote, smaller business. They're local, support local. They just started delivering. I'm sure they're trying to get through the COVID season just like all these other businesses. So go out, Insomnia Cookies. I'll link it below. Buy yourself a set of these. Buy your whiskey lover a set of the Boozy Bites, and they're absolutely going to love it. One more bite. Cheers, y'all. That's our Bourbon Bomb of the Week, brought to you by Insomnia Cookies. So there you have it, Cookie Bomb of the Week, Bourbon Bomb of the Week, whichever way you want to go with it. But back to this, and this Michter's bourbon is going to rank at an 8.1 on the scale, and I think that's a perfect spot for it. I don't make up these scores before I do this. I want to drink the bourbon. I want to give you actual factual information and my thought process while I'm going through these scores. So an 8.1 is perfectly fair for this. I think it's a little overhyped. I don't think it deserves to be up there in the top 5 and the top 10, especially at the $50 price tag. I think it falls like right outside of the top 10, tying 14th. Perfect spot for it if you ask me. But in the meantime, I do want to get Rissa's reviews on this. By the way, before we send it over to Rissa's reviews, I do want to remind you every Tuesday at 4 p.m. I'm going to drop an image of the bourbon that we're going to review that very next day on Whiskey Wednesday. Go to my channel at Bourbon of the Week. Make sure you follow me so you can see the image that I post. On that image, you're going to be able to guess what my score is going to be for the next day. The person who guesses closest is also going to be featured on the channel and be put into a drawing of 1 of 4 people monthly to possibly win a great prize from the channel. Now, we have a couple things already. We got Bourbon of the Week hoodies. Look at that. Time for the traditional sip on the back. We're going to have glasses. We're going to have koozies. We're going to have all sorts of stuff. Right now, we already have 2 winners. And our third winner from last week is Genie in a Bottle. Congrats, who guessed perfectly, by the way, at an 8.03 on our Breckenridge from last week. So congrats to Genie in a Bottle. She's going to be entered in a drawing. Make sure you go over. Make sure you follow me at Bourbon of the Week on Instagram. Let's get to Rissa's reviews. Cheers. So this is Michter's. I already poured you some. I'm going to pour a little more. I'm not going to tell you the proof. I want you to try to guess it.
Okay.
Okay. And we have our cookies. Which kind did you get?
Peanut butter old fashioned.
Peanut butter old fashioned. And I have a hot cinnamon whiskey. Cheers. Time for the traditional sip. Good. Just once, I want you to make an okay face.
So it's not like a horrible bite, but it smells like straight nail polish remover.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does. I'm guessing you haven't done nail polish remover a whole lot?
Nope. Not since my nail polish days.
It is straight nail polish remover. The taste is better than the smell.
So it doesn't taste like nail polish remover?
Not completely.
What do you think the proof is?
Well, see, last time it was a low proof and it was really burny, so it's hard to guess.
Really burny. That's the scientific word for how this tastes.
I'm going to say like 90.
Whoa, 91.4. You're getting good at
I'm
this.
a bourbon expert.
91.4. So Bernie, extra Bernie
No,
Sanders.
it's not extra Bernie.
Just regular Bernie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Regular Bernie. So I would say for the proof, it's on par for the, what do you call it? Which category is that?
Drinkability. Drinkability is on par. Just come up with new rankings every week.
On par.
On par is your. What are the other?
Going
what
golfing.
if it is? Yeah. What if it is? Is it a bogey or a?
I don't
if
know
it's
what the
really
other
good,
things
it's an
mean.
eagle. So you want to go through price then? It's $50.
$50.
Let's look at the bottle.
It's a nice bottle. It looks very old timey.
Yeah.
Patriotic.
That's like it's like a selling thing.
I like the bottle though.
It's a nice bottle.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
But I think that is still pretty pricey.
$50.
Yeah.
It's tough. What are you giving this? Thumbs up, thumbs middle, or thumbs down?
I guess
Can we put the timer on for that part? You know that little Jeopardy? Do-do-do.
Well, I feel bad just being like, I hate bourbon. Why am I even doing this? But
Is that the song you sing to yourself?
but I would say I'll give this
Thumbs side.
maybe like
no
halfway down.
Upside or down? Upside down. Is that why they say that?
What?
Upside down? Is that why it's
Stop.
no? Okay. Just thought.
I feel like we're on an episode of Stranger Things. I would say side.
Side.
Little.
We get the. So what sound effect can we do for that? I feel like we should go ding ding ding. That's the perfect sound effect. We'll have to find that. So we have like a ding ding ding, and then we'll have a and then we'll have a. That's your new ranking system.
I love it.
Perfect.
It's so Rissa's review.
All right, but enough on the bourbon.
My favorite topic in
Tell us all you want about the cookies.
There's not a cookie in the world that I don't like.
Look at
I
this.
love cookies. I love baking cookies. I love eating cookies.
Look at how soft it is.
I love everything about cookies. And Insomnia Cookies are extra good. You can get them at 2 o'clock in the morning, which is prime cookie time.
And let me tell you something. We ordered these yesterday at like 4 o'clock. And they were here today at 4 o'clock. Delivery. FedEx. This isn't ASMR, babe. Just take a bite, you creep. Did you have a bite?
Yeah.
I forget.
I don't know.
I don't know. Cheers. Oh, that's so good. I want some of yours, though. Some more.
So good.
The peanut butter in yours is delicious.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So what do you rate the cookies?
Cookies are an A+ in my book. Yeah, these are great.
These are great. A+.
I'll take cookies any day.
Over bourbon?
Yes.
I'll trade you. But that's all we're going to have for today. Bourbon falls 14th on the list. Cookies fall number 1 in our heart.
Yeah.
If you haven't already, if you don't have cookies and milk, Insomnia Cookies and Bourbon under the Christmas tree for Santa Claus,
Oh, yeah.
you'll have a good Christmas, I promise you. We'll take care of you. Don't drink and drive, drink responsibly, and as always,
Wash your hands.
wash your hands. And make sure you go to the Instagram and check out our 250 sub giveaway. Should be a couple posts to go by now, I'm sure. It's me holding a bottle of Blanton's, which is what we're giving away. So make sure you go, you find that. I'll link it below, actually. I think I can link to a particular post.
Such a good giveaway.
You can go enter to give that away. We're going to go until January 1st, December 31st at 12 o'clock midnight, so we can go into the new year with some good juju. So that's what we're doing. Don't drink and drive, drink responsibly, wash your hands. Pandemic ain't over, y'all. Cheers.
Cheers.
Go cookies.